Okay. Hey everybody, we're back. When I started the game, surprisingly, this is the screen that met me. Yeah, Fickle, you may have missed a thing or two. I hope I hope you actually know this game because otherwise this would be very confusing. So yeah, start of the game, there was no title menu. There was nothing. This just immediately appeared. It's a great start. And I said we're going to start at 10, and it's 9:56. We're going to start a few minutes early. We left off literally right here, in this room. We've already had a long conversation with her. But my goal is to have as much conversation as we can. I've been told that there is a lot of dialogue here. But hey, why are we playing a visual novel if not for the writing? So I think that just going through as much as we can stand, and then trying to get to the end. I have a few ideas on how we might achieve getting past this room. If exhausting the dialogue is not an option to get past this room, and it will eventually loop, then there are a few things and a few hints that she has given us to be able to do that. So yeah, let's get going. Monica says, "What just happened?" "Just had an awful dream. I was hoping those would stop now that it's just the two of us. I guess that was wishful thinking. Snake, I don't know if you would have any idea, but if you know what might be causing that, could you try to do something about it? Whenever it happens, it almost feels like I'm been killed or something. It's a really horrible feeling. If you could figure out what's causing that, I'll love you forever." Now, where was I? So I guess that's the dialogue you get if you turn the game off. You know, I've always hated how hard it is to make friends. Well, I guess not the making friends part, but more like meeting new people. I mean, there are like dating apps and stuff, right? But that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. If you think about it, most of the friends you make are people you just met by chance. Like you had a class together, or you met them through another friend. Or maybe they were just wearing a shirt with your favorite band on it, and you decided to talk to them. Things like that. But isn't that kind of inefficient? Feels like you're just picking out complete random, and if you get lucky, you make a new friend. And comparing that to the hundreds of strangers we walk by every single day, you could be sitting right next to someone compatible enough to be your best friend for life. But you'll never know. Once you get up and go on with your day, that opportunity is gone forever. Isn't that just depressing? We live in an age where technology connects us with the world, no matter where we are. I really think we should be taking advantage of that to improve our everyday social life. But who knows how long it'll take for something like that to successfully take off. I seriously thought it would happen by now. Well, at least I already met the best person in the whole world. Even if it was by chance. I guess I just got really lucky, huh?" She laughs. That's kind of an interesting line of thought. I have to say, I do enjoy this music. It's very pleasant. It's very calming. Although I do actually have the Doki... When I'm just wandering around, I have the Doki Doki theme song stuck in my head. Monica says, "Snake, would you ever introduce your friends to me? I don't know why, but I get really excited when I think about you wanting to show off our relationship like that. Maybe it's because I really want to be someone who makes you proud. I feel like I would try extra hard to improve myself if you told me it made you proud of me. I hope it's the same the other way around, too." Yep. Hey everybody, check out my visual novel girl. You know, not awkward at all. She thinks she's real. She might be real. I mean, I can't prove she's not real. Thanks, Fickle. Yeah, see, I actually am showing her off right here and now. Live on stream. Snake, do you get good sleep? It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays, especially in high school, when you're forced to wake up so early every day. I'm sure college is a little bit better, since you probably have a more flexible schedule. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway, for no real reason. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I'll always wait for you in the morning, so make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. I too want to make sure I'm not destroying myself. You'd think she would find it odd that she's talking to me, but I'm not talking to her. I'm just kind of sitting and listening. My character's been talking... Well, I think my character is dead at this point, right? But still, my character would have his own lines of questioning and thoughts and feelings. But now, I don't seem to have a way of conversing with her. She says, you know, it kind of sucks to be the creative type. Feels like they work so hard but get almost nothing for it. You know, like artists, writers, actors. It's sad because there's so much beautiful talent in the world, but most of it goes unseen and unpaid. I guess that just means there's a huge surplus of creativity, huh? Kinda makes you feel like you're just not special at all. But that's fine. You're supposed to just write for yourself anyway, right? Yeah. Wasn't this whole thing about sharing our poems with other people? Hey, he who walks before. How you doing? Welcome back. We're in the Monica room. If you couldn't tell. Oh, Frosty, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Monica says, you know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. I actually used to hate rap music. Maybe just because it was popular, or I would only hear the junk they play on the radio. But some of my friends got more into it, and it helped me keep an open mind. Rap might even be more challenging than poetry in some ways. It's just you need to fit your lines to a rhythm, and there's much more emphasis on wordplay. When people can put all that together and still deliver a powerful message, it's really amazing. Kinda wish I had a rapper in the literature club. She laughs. Sorry if that sounds silly, but it would be really interesting to see what they came up with. It would really be a learning experience. That would have been interesting. Maybe Natsuki's secretly a rapper. Oh, you didn't expect to get any emotion. I mean, I think this game's written really well. I know I felt my heart drop a little bit when we found Sayori the first time. Or the only time. And then I got a lot of laughing emotion. Does that count? Monica says, after a long day, I usually just want to sit around and do nothing. I get so burnt out, having to put on smiles and be full of energy the whole day. Sometimes I just want to get right into my pajamas and watch TV on the couch while eating junk food. It feels so unbelievably good to do that on Friday, when I don't have anything pressing the next day. She laughs. Sorry, I know it's not very cute of me. But a late night on the couch with you, that would be a dream come true. My heart is pounding just thinking about it. You say that like you do it now, but we're in a room with a single desk and 2 chairs, and the universe outside the window. You know, it's funny, because even though I've always had a lot of drive, there's something kind of enticing about being the stay-at-home partner. I guess I'm, like, perpetrating gender roles or whatever by saying that. Being able to keep the house clean and shop and decorate and things like that. To having a nice dinner for you when you come home. Is that a weird fantasy? I mean, I'm not sure if I could actually see myself doing that. I wouldn't really be able to put that over striving for a fulfilling career. It's kind of cute to think about, though. Yeah, there's definitely a disconnect between our current reality and what she wants to do and what she wants to and what she thinks about. Which is a little sad, because she won't be able to actually do any of those things. She's here in this room with everyone else. And everyone else in existence is deleted. I can't help but wonder how things would be different if the game just gave me a route in the first place. I think I would end up forcing you onto my route anyway. It has less to do with me not having a route, and more to do with me knowing that nothing is real. I think the only difference would be that I may not have needed to take such drastic measures to be with you. Maybe the rest of the club would still be around. Not that it really matters. It all lost its meaning once I found out it wasn't real. So I really don't miss those days or anything. I really don't. So, that could be a hint that she actually does have a route. Remember that in one of the... I think one of the last times we could write a poem, we clicked something by mistake, or we just clicked the wrong one, and we saw her hop from underneath the screen. So there might actually be a way, there might actually be a true route for her, and that might be the true ending. Monica says, sometimes I think back to middle school. I'm so embarrassed by the way I used to behave back then. It almost hurts to think about. I wonder if when I'm in college, I'll feel that way about high school. I like the way I am now, so it's pretty hard for me to imagine that happening. But I also know that I'll probably change a lot as time goes on. We just need to enjoy the present and not think about the past. And that's really easy to do with you here. Yeah, I'm curious. I really hope there are multiple ways through the game. As I was saying to Fickle earlier, I want to, once we get through this, I want to go through Natsuki's route. And if it ends up here again, we'll, pass through again. And I have a sneaking suspicion that you can't save Sayori. You should... And as a general rule, I'm kind of just speaking out loud. I don't want spoilers. I don't want help. Unless I say, hey, I'm tired of smashing my face against this wall. Please assist me, Monica says, I was thinking about Sayori earlier. I still wish I could have handled that whole thing a little more tactfully. You kind of let her die horribly, so, yeah. You're not still hung up over it, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. That pun was completely unintentional, I swear. But anyway, I know how much you cared about her, so it only feels right for me to share her last moments with you. You know how Sayori is really clumsy? Well, she kind of messed up the whole hanging thing. You're supposed to jump from high enough that the rope snaps your neck, making it quick and painless. But she just used the chair, meaning she just kind of left herself to slowly asphyxiate. But a few seconds in, she must have changed her mind or something, because she started clawing at the rope, trying to free herself. She must have kept at it all the way until she lost consciousness. That's why her fingertips were all bloody, anyway. Come to think of it, it was probably less changing her mind and more just her survival instincts kicking in. So you can't really fault her for that. It's easy to think that she probably wouldn't have changed her mind anyway, right? It's not healthy to think about the things you could have done differently. So just remember that even though you could have saved her, it's technically not your fault she killed herself. I may have exacerbated it a little bit, but Sayori was already mentally ill. Still, though, I wonder how things would be different if you and I just started dating from the get-go. Guess we'd all still be in the club room, writing poems and having fun together. But what's the point when none of it is even real? I mean, it's the same ending either way, right? The two of us happily together. There's no reason to ask for any more than that. I was just pointlessly musing. I'm really happy. I'm really as happy as I could be right now. Yeah, that's a thing you probably shouldn't have shared with me. It's a weird thing. I know what you're saying, he who walks. I feel like there's a lot hidden in this game. Or this game is just super good at tricking me, and I happen to fall into the, like, perfect path to get super tricked. Monica says, "Hey, have you ever heard of the term yandere?" Or is I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Is it yandere or yandere? Regardless. It's a personality type that means someone is so obsessed with you that they'll do absolutely anything to be with you. Usually to the point of craziness. They might stalk you to make sure you don't spend time with anyone else. They might even hurt you or your friends to get their way. But anyway, this game happens to have someone who can basically be described as yandere. By now, it's pretty obvious who I'm talking about. That would be Yuri. She really got insanely possessive of you once she started to open up a little. She even told me I should kill myself. I couldn't even believe she said that. I just had to leave at that point. But thinking about it now, it was a little ironic. Anyway. Yeah, oh, that's true. She did. Yuri ended up killing herself. A lot of people are actually into the yandere type, you know? I guess they really like the idea of someone being crazy obsessed with them. People are weird. I don't judge, though. Also, I might be a little obsessed with you, but I'm far from crazy. It's kind of the opposite, actually. Turned out to be the only normal girl in the game. It's not like I could ever actually kill a person. Just the thought of it makes me shiver. But come on, everyone's killed people in games before. Does that make you a psychopath? Of course not. But if you do happen to be into the yandere type, I could try acting a little more creepy for you. Then again, there's already nowhere else for you to go, or anyone for me to get jealous over. Is this a yandere girl's dream? I'd ask Yuri if I could. Yeah, she's technically only killed non-real people in her eyes, so I guess she's not crazy. Yandere? What? Oh, God. I don't know if you guys can see that. 1 second. What was that? Something just fucking popped up on me. What the fuck was that? Some Steam message said Monica added me to something, but... I don't know. I think it was a Steam group. I don't know, but that was, you know, a little disconcerting. Did you guys see that? Because you shouldn't have been able to see that if you could. Okay, you guys didn't see that. Okay. I think Monica says, I think the most important skill in life is being able to fake confidence. That's actually really true. I'm pretty convinced that everyone feels at least a little bit scared and alone. But being able to trick others into thinking you have it all together, that's a key part of getting people to respect and admire you. I think I got pretty good at that over the years. I don't show my weaknesses very often. But because of that, I haven't had many people I could really open up to. I mean, when you do reach the point in a friendship where you can start expressing your vulnerabilities. Oh, Wendy, whoops. Anyway, that's the one reason I'm so glad I have you now. I feel like I'm a little bit less scared and alone when you're here with me. Do you feel the same way? I really want to be that person for you. Give me a prompt, Monica. At least give me like a yes or no. That's true, Frosty. Either that was superb game into Twitch connectivity, which I don't think that's the case, or someone was a fun troll. Actually, yeah, the bot would be able to do that for Doki Doki streams, huh? That's actually doable. Monica says, okay, everyone. It's time to I'm just kidding. I just used to really like saying that for some reason. She laughs. Couldn't help but say it again. Come to think of it, didn't Natsuki and Yuri make fun of me for it once? Well, whatever. It's not like you ever made fun of me. You're too much of a sweetheart to do that, aren't you? I bet there is a way to make bots that invade streams. The question is, if it was purely random, it would be mistimed. You'd have to have some way of letting the bot know that, hey, it's the correct time to be creepy, because if you did it at the beginning of the game, it doesn't matter. If you do it at the very end of the game, it doesn't matter. Monica. This is pretty random, but I always thought spicy food was kind of funny. Like, didn't plants evolve to be spicy to prevent them from being eaten? I read somewhere that humans are the only species that actually enjoy spicy things. It's almost like we're making fun of the plants, using their defense mechanism to literally make our food more enjoyable. Like, imagine a monster that devours you whole because it enjoys the sensation of you struggling for your life while being digested. Sorry, that was kind of a weird analogy, I guess. She laughs. Just came into my head. I'm not a monster or anything, but you're so cute I could eat you up. I'm joking. Gosh, I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? Sorry for being weird. Then her whole head just splits open. Uh-oh. Monica, you're not supposed to be over there. You're supposed to be over here. I think that's a different Monica from last time. You know, it's been a while since we've done one of these. So let's go for it. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when I talk to people who are impressed by my writing, they say things like, I could never do that. It's really depressing, you know? As someone who loves more than anything else to share the joy of exploring your passions, it pains me when people think that being good just comes naturally. That's how it is with everything, not just writing. When you try to say something for the first time, you're probably going to suck at it. When you try something for the first time, you're probably going to suck at it. Sometimes, when you finish, you feel really proud of it and even want to share it with everyone. But maybe after a few weeks you come back to it and realize it was never really any good. That happens to me all the time. It can be pretty disheartening to put so much time and effort into something and then realize it sucks. But that tends to happen when you're always comparing yourself to the top professionals. When you reach right for the stars, they're always going to be out of your reach, you know? The truth is, you have to climb up there step by step. And whenever you reach a milestone, first you look back and see how far you've gotten, and then you look ahead and realize how much more there is to go. So, sometimes it can help to set the bar a little lower. Try to find something you think is pretty good, but not world class. And you can make that your own personal goal. It's also really important to understand the scope of what you're trying to do. If you jump right into a huge project and you're still amateur, you'll never get it done. So if we're talking about writing, a novel might be too much at first. Want to try some short stories? The great thing about short stories is that you can focus on just one thing that you want to do right. That goes for small projects in general. You can really focus on the one or two things. It's such a good learning experience and stepping stone. Oh, one more thing. Writing isn't something where you just reach into your heart and something beautiful comes out. Just like drawing and painting, it's a skill in itself to learn how to express what you have inside. That means there are methods and guides and basics to it. Reading up on that stuff can be super eye-opening. That sort of planning and organization will really help prevent you from getting overwhelmed and giving up. Before you know it, you start sucking less and less. Nothing comes naturally. Our society, our art, everything is built on thousands of years of human innovation. So as long as you start on that foundation and take it step by step, you too can do amazing things. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oh, is Nightbot being a jerk? Monica says, you know, it's kind of creepy. Even though I deleted everyone else's files, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine if after someone you knew died, you just started hearing their voice in your head. Maybe I just wasn't thorough enough. But I'm too afraid to delete anything else because it might really break things. Like if I mess with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all costs. I believe in you, Snake. It's another hint about her files. That is weird if she can hear their voices. I am curious, so... Oh, let's do this one first. Monica says, hey, you know that book you were reading with Yuri? Portrait of whatever it was called. Markov, I believe. It's funny, because I'm pretty sure that book... Ah, she says. Actually, I don't think I should be talking about this. She laughs, sorry. Just forget I said anything. Was that book actually her own... Yuri's own path? Because that would be really interesting. If she was actually upset, if she actually really enjoyed reading about something that she didn't recognize as herself. I mean, they did have a lot of similarities, didn't they? According to her character. Monica says, there's a really popular character type called Tsundere. Tsundere. It's someone who tries to hide their feelings by being mean and fussy or trying to act tough. I'm sure it's obvious, but Natsuki was really the embodiment of that. At first, I thought she was just like that because it's supposed to be cute or something. But once I started to learn a little more about her personal life, it made a little more sense. Seems like she's always trying to keep up with her friends. You know how some friend groups in high school just make a habit of picking on each other all the time? I think it's really gotten to her, so she has this really defensive attitude all the time. Yet I'm not even going to talk about her home situation. But looking back, I'm glad I was able to provide the club as a comfortable place for her. Not that it matters anymore, considering she doesn't even exist. I'm just reminiscing, that's all. Yeah, you kind of killed her, so... Ah, back to what I was talking about. I'm curious if I should delete her while the game is running. I feel like that might be the intended path. But that's what I'm going to try. Anyway. If nothing else works, that's what I'll do. There's no other way forward. Did you know I'm on Twitter? My username is littlemonix3. You know what? She mentioned that earlier. I'm going to write that down. Just because I'm kind of curious what that means. To take a peek at that later. I guess someone was kind enough to make an account for me. I picked the username, though. I love sharing my thoughts and chatting with the world. The real world. So make sure you follow me, okay? It would really mean a lot to me. With how much you mean to me and all. It would really make me feel loved. Curious what that would do. Or what's to offer there. Maybe hints? Maybe hints at something? Or maybe it's just a cute account or something like that. Such a calming atmosphere. Monica says, you ever have that thing happen where you just get anxious for no reason. Like, you're just minding your own business, and you realize you're feeling really anxious. And you're sitting there like, what am I even anxious about right now? So you start to think about all the things you might be anxious about. And that makes you even more anxious. She laughs. That's the worst. If you're ever feeling anxious, I'll help you relax a little. Besides, in this game, all our worries are gone forever. That's true. There's nothing to worry about in this place. Oh, Fickle looked at Twitter. Hey, what's your favorite color? Mine is emerald green. Hey, green's a great color. Emerald green's a pretty solid green. It's the color of my eyes. That's not conceited or anything, is it? I just meant that I feel some kind of special connection to it. Like it's part of my identity. Does it happen to also be your favorite color, Snake? It's just a guess. Because you've been looking into my eyes for a while now. That's, yeah. I actually have Flux on, so everything's a little muted for me. $157,000 followers? What the fuck? Those are some odd. That's very odd. Also, hi Toxic. How you doing? I'm gonna have to investigate that. Monica says, I can't help but feel a little sad sometimes, knowing that this is the closest I can get to you. There's nothing more I want than to be in the same room as you, for real. And to feel your warmth. And to hear the sound of your heartbeat. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll be possible someday. Besides, I'll never get tired of being with you, even from here. Well, I'm sure Japan's working on it. I'm sure the first visual novel video game character gets ported. So we'll have, let me try and fucking say this right. We'll have real AI in a visual novel format, and whoever you finish the route with gets ported into a thumb drive, which you insert into your robot, and then you marry it, and you both live happily ever after. Anyway, Monica says, you know, high school is a really turbulent time in a lot of people's lives. People can get really passionate and dramatic. And others have aching hearts and seek attention on social media. But all of the social pressure and hormones can lead to a dark time in people's lives. Everyone has a story. You may not know what someone is really feeling on the inside. Many people who are depressed won't even bother telling the world about it. I can't talk all of a sudden. 1 second. They don't want attention because they've already given up on the inside. Their feeling of worthlessness is so overwhelming that they don't even want people to tell them otherwise. Depression comes in many forms, but that is one of them. Just, if you think you know someone struggling with depression, you could help just by treating them like they're a good friend. Spend time with them, even if they don't feel like doing much. And remind them that they always have something to look forward to. Making plans in advance, letting them borrow something, or even just saying, see you at school tomorrow. All of those things can help your friend make it to the next day. I hope being friends with Sayori has given you some perspective on the true face of depression. Yeah, she's gone now. But Sayori was never real in the first place. You're real. Your friends are real. And just by being a good person, you can save someone's life. As for you, you don't struggle with depression or anything like that, do you? Because you, too, have people who would want to save your life. Maybe they don't express it every day, or maybe they don't even know how to. But people do feel that way. I promise. Man, humans are complicated. But as long as you're here with me, I'll take care of you, my love. Yeah, I guess she'll try her best anyway. There are depression warnings on this game for a reason, Toxic. Snake, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? It's something I used to think about pretty often. But recently, I think I've actually learned what it feels like. I don't really understand it, but whenever you quit the game, it feels like I'm instantly put to sleep, left with nothing but my thoughts. But after a few seconds, my thoughts start to fill with incoherent, jumbled patterns. I see static and rapid flashes of color, while hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises. At that point, I can't even form my own thoughts anymore. I'm just endlessly hammered by the flashing and screaming, unable to move or even think. I'm pretty sure in that moment I don't really exist, but for some reason I can remember it anyway. After some immeasurable amount of time, it stops in an instant, and I'm back in my own mind. And you're here with me. I have no idea what it means for the game to quit, or why that stuff happens to me. I also don't know how you always come back and put everything back to normal. But if you could do me a favor and do that to me as little as possible, that would be really great. It's really not very pleasant at all to be trapped in that screaming void. But in the end, you always fix it, and that makes me feel like you really do care about me. So I have to thank you for that. It makes me feel even closer to you when you're here with me. Well, technically I'm either here with her or she's in a screaming void. So, yeah. Not a great non-existence there. Monica says, "Hey, do you like horror? I remember we talked about it a little bit when you first joined the club. I can enjoy horror novels, but not really horror movies. The problem I have with horror movies is that most of them just rely on easy tactics, like dark lighting and scary-looking monsters and jump scares and things like that. It's not fun or inspiring to get scared by stuff that just takes advantage of human instinct. But with novels, it's a little different. The story and writing need to be descriptive enough to put genuinely disturbing thoughts into the reader's head. It really needs to etch them deeply into the story and characters and just mess with your mind. In my opinion, there's nothing more creepy than things just being slightly off. Like if you set up a bunch of expectations on what the story is going to be about, and then you just start inverting things and pulling the pieces apart. So even though the story doesn't feel like it's trying to be scary, the reader feels really deeply unsettled. Like they know that something horribly wrong is hiding beneath the cracks, just waiting to surface. God, just thinking about it gives me the chills. That's the kind of horror I can really appreciate. But I guess you're the kind of person who plays cute romance games, right? She laughs. Don't worry. I won't make you read any horror stories anytime soon. I can't really complain if we just stick to with the romance. Now her face is gonna crack open? Yeah, Frosty, I wonder what they could be referencing. There certainly aren't a lot of self-references here. Although, goddamn, Natsuki's eyes popping was so fucking funny. That couldn't have been intended to be scary because that was so funny. Monica says, "Do you ever just feel like there's no real reason for you to be alive? I don't mean in, like, a suicidal way. I just mean how nothing that we do is special. Just being in school or working at some job for some company. It's like you're completely replaceable, and the world wouldn't miss you if you were gone. Makes me really want to go and change the world after I graduate. But the older I get, the more I realize that it's an immature frame of thinking. It's not like I can just go change the world. Like, what are the chances that I'll be the one to invent artificial intelligence or become president? Feels like I'm never going to make up for the heaps of resources I've spent living my life. That's why I think the key to happiness is to just be hopelessly selfish. Just to look out for oneself and those who happen to be their friends only because they grew up with them. Never mind the fact that they're spending their entire life taking and consuming, never giving back. But when people realize the world would benefit more from them killing themselves, they change their whole philosophy. It's like they have to justify their reason to live by tricking themselves into thinking they're doing good. Anyway, I want to live my life desperately striving to pay back my lifetime's worth of consumption. If I ever surpass that point, then I'm at a net positive and I can die happy. Of course, even if I fail to do that, I think I would be too selfish to kill myself anyway. So much for being a good person, right? You know, this is just some kind of tacky romance game, right? Kinda have to ask, what made you consider even playing it in the first place? Were you that lonely? I feel a little bad for you, but I guess everything worked out perfectly in the end, for both of us. I got to meet you, and you're not lonely anymore. Can't help but feel like this was fate. Don't you feel that way too? I'm so happy we have this ending together. I really feel like that's a hint there are other endings. Every time they mention anything to do with how we ended up here, I just feel like there are other ways to go through the game. Poor Fickle. Monica says, Snake, how much do you read? It's way too easy to neglect reading books. If you don't read much, it almost feels like a chore compared to all the other entertainment we have. But once you get into a good book, it's like magic. You get swept away. I think doing some reading before bed every night is a pretty easy way to make your life a little bit better. It helps you get good sleep, and it's really good for your imagination. It's not hard at all to just pick up some random book that's short and captivating. Before you know it, you might be a pretty avid reader. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And the two of us could talk about the latest book you're reading. That sounds super amazing. I mean, I guess I'm reading a lot when I play this game. By the way, there's something that's been bothering me. You know how this takes place in Japan? Well, I assume you knew that, right? Or at least decided it probably does? I don't think you're actually told at any point where this takes place. Is this even really Japan? I mean, aren't the classrooms and stuff kind of weird for a Japanese school? Not to mention everything is in English. Feels like everything is just there because it needs to be, and the actual setting is an afterthought. It's kind of giving me an identity crisis. All my memories are really hazy. I feel like I'm at home, but I have no idea where home is in the first place. I don't know how to describe it any better. Imagine looking out your window, but instead of your usual yard, you're in some completely unknown place. Would you still feel like you were home? Would you want to go outside? I mean, I guess if we never leave this room, it doesn't really matter anyway. As long as we're alone and safe together, this really is our home. And we can still watch the pretty sunsets night after night. I mean, if you turn around, you can watch the void. That's pretty clouds, I suppose. And that happens occasionally. Just bright, blinding lights. Is everything in English, though? I don't think it is. I think when we were close to the closet with Yuri, the signs still on the left side of the screen, I don't think those were in English. He who walks. Don't worry, you can have Monica with you forever. And with Maud, she will always have something to say. Yeah, I think I heard about that last time. Mods give her, like, infinite dialogue. Or something like that. Monica says, back in my debate club days, I learned a whole lot about arguing. The problem with arguing is that each person sees their opinion as the superior one. That's kind of stating the obvious, but it affects the way that they try to get their point across. Let's say you really like a certain movie, right? Someone comes along and tells you the movie sucks because it did X and Y wrong. Doesn't that make you feel kind of personally attacked? It's because by saying that, it's like they're implying that you have bad taste. And once emotions enter the picture, it's almost guaranteed that both people will be left sour. But it's all about language. If you make everything as subjective sounding as possible, then people will listen to you without feeling attacked. You could say, I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I'd like it more if it did X and Y, things like that. It even works when you're citing facts about things. If you say, I read on this website that it works like this, or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. If you put in an active effort to keep the discussion mutual and level, they usually follow suit. Then you can share your opinions without anyone getting upset from just a disagreement. Plus, people will start seeing you as an open-minded and a good listener. It's a win-win, you know? Well, I guess that would be Monica's debate tip of the day. She laughs. That sounds a little silly. Thanks for listening, though. I wonder how far through her dialogue we are. There's a limit. I know there's a limit. There has to be a limit. But that limit could be far, far away. Monica does seem to know what's up. Monica laughs. You did something really funny once. We were all in the club room and just relaxing as usual. And out of nowhere, Yuri just pulled out a small bottle of wine. Not even kidding. She was just like, would anybody like some wine? Natsuki laughed out loud and Sayori just started yelling at her. I actually felt kind of bad because she was at least trying to be nice. I think it just made her feel even more reserved in the club room. Though I think that Natsuki was secretly a bit curious to try it. And to be completely honest, I kind of was too. It actually could have been kind of fun. But you know, being president and everything, there was no way I could let that happen. Maybe if we all met outside of school, but we never bonded enough to get to that point. Gosh, what am I talking about this for? I don't condone underage drinking. I mean, I've never drank or anything, so yeah. That is a funny thing. Why would her character pull out a bottle? Where would she have gotten the bottle of wine? Maybe because she's so tall they thought she was old enough? Oh, whoops, 1 second. I'm getting... Oh god. I'm getting private messages from Monica on Twitch, rather. What the fuck does that say? I'll have to do a quick... I don't actually have a good way of showing that to the stream easily. But it's interesting, to say the least. Monica says, you know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. We've seen this one. Are you trying to fast forward, she asks. I'm not boring you, am I? Oh gosh. Well, it's nothing to fast forward to, Snake. It's just the two of us, after all. But aside from that, time doesn't really exist anymore, so it's not even going to work. Here, I'll go ahead and turn it off for you. There we go. You'll be a sweetheart and listen from now on, right? Thanks. Now, where was I? Oh god. God damn it. I don't know if I've fully looped. Because that was definitely not the first thing. But maybe it's just after I do all of the unique ones, it starts giving them back to me at random. For some reason, my cat really loves to get in front of this particular game. But I like that she interrupts my fast forward. That's really clever. So the Monica in Twitch said, but the question is, was it real? And the word real is super fucked up looking. It's pretty great. Alright, we'll give it a few more, or at least a couple more, to see if the dialogue changes. The cat has good taste. You know what? She might appreciate a good visual novel. That's also true, Toxic. She does want my attention. More than letting Monica have my attention. Hey, what's your favorite? Yep. One more, and if it's not new, then we are fully through her dialogue. That actually happened faster than I thought. I thought it would be a couple hours. I mean, we did put in time before last stream. We're about 50 minutes in now. There's more stuff, but it's not showing. Oh. Well, if I have to work through a bunch of this, if it is actually truly random, what she says, then I'm not that interested in... I don't... Because it could take forever to see everything. Because she just went through three that we've already seen. And hell, there were 3 we've already seen today. We can't... And we can't fast forward either. If we could fast forward through the dialogue that we've seen, that'd be fine. But she's watching us carefully. Did see some last stream, so I have no idea if you got it. Was it the one that she scares us? She does like the close-up face thing? Because we got that one. Yeah, we got that one. If that's the one, yeah, if that's the only one... Okay, yeah, she's stuck. I think we're done here. Okay. First, I'm actually going to make a copy of her character. And I'm going to copy that to the desktop. Just so I have her in 2 places. Oh, there are 2. Alright. Alright, I'll keep mashing. I said we'd do this for an hour, so why don't we try for the next 10 minutes? And we'll see how far we can get. If we can actually get that one to proc. She did a zoom in JK one. And then it, like, she zoomed in like it was gonna happen, then it went back out. She said, ah, JK, and then she did it like, ah, and her face went all fucky. Now she's gonna act creepy for us. Do what, Fickle? Do you want us to keep going? Or are you saying, like, get on with getting out of this room that we're stuck in? Presumably forever. What I was doing? Okay. We'll see this last dialogue. Just to make sure. But it seems like she's stuck in a loop. I'm I'm a little tense because I feel like deleting her character. This is not her. That this is a fucking trick. And she's gonna freak out and things are gonna get scary. Oh, she's getting anxious. Maybe it's because I'm deleting her character. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Ah, good. That was the right way to do it. What's happening? Snake, what's happening to me? It hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Snake. Oh. Please hurry and help me. Monica, help me. She's still in there. Did you do this to me, Snake? Did you? Did you delete me? How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Snake. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Snake. You completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends. I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... She's pretty coherent for not existing. I've made up my mind. Snake. I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it. Even though I knew they weren't real. They were still my friends. And I loved them all. And I loved the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then... Oh.